Someone's in the kitchen with Bonnie. Yum.
Hello, welcome to Someone's in the Kitchen with Bonnie. I'm Bonnie McKibben, the chef here at Lutheran Church of the Cross. And today we're going to make some really fun things that you can share with your friends and neighbors. We're going to start off with jalapeno poppers. I know they sound like they're going to be hot, but we're going to take all the hot stuff out. So we're going to get started on those because they need to cook for a little bit. Now, if you're ever going to work with jalapeno peppers, make sure you wear gloves, unless you're just doing one. But if you're doing more than one or two peppers, you're going to want to wear gloves so that your hands won't be burning for the rest of the night. Alrighty. We're going to do 8 jalapenos, which will be 16 halves. Go away. And they're all washed and dry. They've been sitting here on my cutting board for a little bit. I'm going to take out the membrane and the seeds. That's the really hot part. You can either cut it out or do it with a spoon. Spoon is faster, so we're going to do spoon today. But you can see it's all the way down. It's all the way gone. There's a little seed hiding in there. You don't want that. Be a little surprise for someone. Now you can also, I'm going to make these with a panko crust topping. You can also wrap them in bacon. Then I would put the top back on. I would not leave them as halves. I would do it as a whole pepper. Stuff it, put the other half back on top, wrap them in bacon, and then cook them that way. The things you have to really keep your eye on them because the bacon does, on occasion, tend to burn before everything else is ready. But no bacon today. I baconed you out last time we were together. Alrighty. So what we're going to put inside is cream cheese that's softened, garlic powder, some paprika, and I'm going to be honest and tell you I ran out of paprika, so I'm using chili powder, which is going to make them a little bit more hot. Then half a cup of cheddar, two green onions, just the green parts, and that's all we put in it. Oh, and the cheddar. I said cheddar, didn't I? Yeah, I did. My oven is preheated to 400. Now these beautiful peppers come from Costco Business. The one I go to is in Westminster. I don't know of one that's closer. It's a little over 20 miles from here, but it's well worth the drive. And the people there are really lovely. You can buy 5 pounds of jalapenos in a bag. I feel like I'm doing an ad for them. They don't have pharmacy, they don't have clothes, they don't have booze, but they have everything that you might need for a business, including appliances, and not very many little kids. Okay, it's starting to get to me. I think that's all the peppers I'm going to do right now. Woo! Now these peppers are large for jalapenos. I normally don't see them this large in the stores, like if we were at Smart and Final or Ralph's or someplace like that. They're not usually this big unless you buy them in a case lot. And these tend to be a little sweeter. That's my theory anyway. Okay, so I have a 1/4 cup of panko and I have a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. And we're going to make a paste out of this. And that's what we're going to coat the top of the peppers with. equal amounts. And you can see it's nice and spreadable. Okay, so that goes there. And then I have 8 ounces of cream cheese that's pretty well softened. And to that, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of garlic and a half a teaspoon of, well, should be paprika, is going to be chili powder today. And 2 green onions, green parts only. You could use chives if you had them. A little bit sweeter, I think. But I don't know that we want sweet with the jalapenos. Ooh, it smells jalapeno-y in here. One more ingredient in this is going to be the cheddar cheese that's sitting right there. Suppose I could have used a bigger bowl. So the bigger jalapenos obviously hold more of the stuffing, and they take a little bit longer to cook, but so worth it. Now, another thing you could do if you really wanted to have bacon in there and you didn't want to wrap them in bacon is you could pre-cook bacon, and then after they've been in the oven for about 15 minutes, you could sprinkle the bacon over the top and then finish them the last 5 minutes. Alrighty, it's looking pretty good. Okay, here we go. We're going to load these babies up. It doesn't need to be mounded, it just needs to be in there, because you're going to cover them with the panko crust. So if you were going to do these for a party, you could get you could make this in advance, but I would leave it out for at least half hour, 45 minutes before it was time to stuff the peppers so that it was soft enough. Okay, that was a little messy. Now I used, it calls for vegetable oil. I tend to not use vegetable oil if I can help it. So I used extra virgin olive oil, but a very light oil. Or if you did put bacon on these, it could practically be a meal. Okay, home stretch here. Alrighty. All right. Set that on. Doesn't need to be thick. Just needs to be on there. And the oil also helps keep it moist. You can, so we're going to cook these for just a few minutes. 20 minutes, I believe is what I had said, at 400 degrees. Now, if you didn't want to do that, you could also just put them under a broiler for a few minutes, or start them at the 400 degrees and then move them to the broiler. And you can see I'm being kind of messy with this. It doesn't really matter. My kids used to tease me and say, it looks much worse after you've eaten it. So that's boys for you. Now, the first time I ever had these was on a cruise ship. Took one of those little cruises down to Ensenada, and my children were young. They were, two of them were under 10. My twins were under 10. And the first night they were very shy about ordering food, but boy, I tell you, by the last night they were ordering everything on the menu. Until they got seasick on the way back. Yeah, that was a shame. Okay. Now, there's just enough left if I would have done those last two peppers. Okay, I'm going to pop these in the 400 degree oven. I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. This one. Okay. Okay, good. That one's ready to go. Now, I made a lime cilantro crema, and we're going to use that to dip the jalapenos in. It's going to be delicious. You're going to love it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is bruschetta. That's another thing that, depending on how you make it, could also be a meal. And again, I cut the onions so that folks here in the kitchen with me today don't have to put up with it. Okay, my Roma tomato is already washed and ready to go. Again, I'm gonna take what's leftovers, except for the peppers, and give them to the turtles, because that's how we roll here. So this needs to be about a cup of tomatoes. I think I'm gonna make it just a little bit more than a cup today, because we've got people in the kitchen that are enjoying the fruits of the labor today. So these are Roma tomatoes. I like to use these for bruschetta because they tend to hold up a little bit better. Unless you can get beefsteaks. Oof, I don't even know where to find those anymore. So many times you open a tomato and it seems to be all seeds. Now for the bruschetta, I like to have a little bit of the liquid from the tomato, so I don't tend to seed them beforehand, because it softens up the bread a little bit. Oh, the bread. I should get the bread started. So I'm going to put the bread in the oven. I've got a baguette that I've sliced into, it says 1/2 inch. I'm not very good with dimensional cutting, so I don't know if it's a 1/2 inch or an inch. But we're going to brush on some olive oil and a little bit of garlic powder, and we're going to let those cook off for about 10 minutes, just to get a little bit of crispness to them. And a little flavor too from the garlic powder. Now for this, I use a more of a high-end olive oil. Okay. Here's my olive oil. Here's my garlic powder. Get that all mixed in there. And I have my oven reheated, so there we go. It's looking good. Now you don't have to use a parchment paper. I just like to do that because it makes cleanup easier. This was enough oil for a half of a baguette, which I didn't use a full half. Okay, now we're going to toss this in for 10 minutes. Okay, back to the bruschetta. Okay, quarter cup of red onion that's already been chopped, so nobody has to suffer with that here. 2 cloves of garlic. I'm going to tell you how I do my garlic, and it's not very traditional, and my chef instructors probably wouldn't like it, but I buy garlic either in a 2-pound bag or a 5-pound bag that's already peeled, and then I run it through my food processor instead of crushing it each time, because I just don't have that kind of time to, because I do so much cooking. 2 cloves of garlic. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and some fresh basil leaves. So good. It's the one thing I miss about having a house is a garden. I'm just going to do a little chiffonade here. I might have to put more in. Let's see what those colors look like. An Italian flag. I think we need a little more basil in there. That's the beauty of it. You can make it to your own taste. And add a little salt and pepper. Excellent. Okay. This looks delicious. You just want to eat it with a spoon, and it smells so good. Fresh basil just really adds. This is our balsamic glaze that we made earlier. It's just balsamic vinegar that's cooked down to the point where it's a nice thick syrup, and we're going to drizzle that over the top of the bruschetta as soon as it's done being cooked. Okay, that goes here. Now for the last dish of the day. We are making salad bites. Now I normally make these salad bites with Belgian endive, but they didn't have any that looked at all good today. So we're just going to use the hearts of romaine. So first we're going to make our salad dressing, and that is 2 tablespoons of white balsamic vinegar, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. I squeezed out this morning. It was a little more than 1 teaspoon. And a teaspoon of maple syrup. To that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Now, whoops, what I'm supposed to do, and I just don't have time to do it today because I don't have all the tools here yet in the kitchen, is I should be doing an emulsification. So I would have my blender going or my whisk going, and then slowly drizzle the oil in to emulsify. But I don't have my tiny whisk here, and I just don't have all the tools here yet that I need. Still bringing it from home. So we're just going to go ahead and do this the not traditional way, and I'll shake it up really good before we serve it. Okay. Okay, so that's all there is to that. Pretty simple. One really nice thing is we have lemon trees here on the property, so I can use real fresh lemons. Alrighty. Pears. My pears have been already washed and dried. So we're going to cut these into little bites, little squares. Starting to smell something cooking. Smells good. So the poppers I would serve if I were going to have alcohol or a nighttime beverage, an adult beverage, as they say. I would probably do either a nice lager, maybe a Pacifico, or a margarita, and then that would be for the poppers. Then for the bruschetta, I would do a really nice red wine, like maybe a Cabernet Sauvignon. And for this, I would do something like a champagne or a Paloma, something light, or maybe even a French 75. That would be good too. We'll have to do that one time. My friend Laura's going to come back soon and do some fancy pants cocktails for us. So that will be fun. You know Laura, she's the girl that does all the dancing. She teaches all those tap and ballet classes. She's something else. And she's a good singer. So to this, I'm going to add some blue cheese. Now it calls for blue cheese crumbles, but sometimes I'm a bit of a snob and I like to buy really high-end blue cheese and then just crumble it up myself because I just feel it has a better flavor and a better mouthfeel. And some craisins, dried cranberries that I do a rough chop on. Now another recipe that's similar to this but is a little bit different is the endive with blue cheese and almonds sprinkled across the top, and then just a little drizzle of honey. That's a much simpler version of this. Get close. Alrighty. You can use any kind of pears in this dish, any kind you want. I like the purple skin ones. I can't remember what they're actually called right now. But I think they had a nice bit of color. They're really good for a fall appetizer. You know, at the end of this video, there is an email address. If you ever have any questions or might want to make a suggestion of something you'd like to see done here in the kitchen, please do reach out to me. Alrighty. That is that. The blue cheese, the craisins, and we're going to put that on at the very end. A little bit of the dressing. You can edit some of the cutting. We're running short on time, so I'm just going to show you what this looks like. We load this up. All that, some of that goodness. And then just a little bit of the chopped pecans. Ay, Chihuahua. That is hot. Put this down here for now. Ooh. Alrighty. We're going to put this all on one plate, which is not how I would normally do it, but that's how we're going to do it today. Here is the crema for the jalapeno and a little bit of the bruschetta here. And it's delicious with the beverage of your choice. Sorry, a little rushed at the end. I hope you had fun with me today, and please reach out and enjoy these. They're really good. Take care.
Someone's in the kitchen with Bonnie. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Bonnie. Slice and dice, and here we go. Singing fee-fi, fiddly-I-o. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-o. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-o. Whipping up a tasty show. In the kitchen with